What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing a top 5 video. This is for dropshippers out there, and these are 5 tips to make sure that you get what you want out of dropshipping. Alright, so first thing, don't rely on one source of information. You really want to make sure that you are educating yourself as much as possible and exposing yourself to as many different opinions as possible. If you rely on one source, you are also going to inherit that source's inherent weaknesses. You need to educate yourself by exposing yourself to multiple sources so that you can mitigate the fact that we all have our flaws, right? And the reality is, no one source of information is reliable. You have to develop your own opinion on sources of information by exposing yourself to different sources of information and figuring out how you feel about the different sources and which ones you like, which ones you trust, all these things. Don't just watch the first one you got and assume that it's the best. Give everything else a shot. Expose yourself to as much free content as possible. It's really important. And to help you do this, there's a video in the description. It is like a 2-minute video. So really it's names of software that you can look at, right? Because what I want you guys to do, for point number 2 here, is to educate yourself as much as possible about all of the different dropshipping software that you have access to. Because the game's changed a lot and there's so much of it now. You as the consumer now have the advantage. It's no longer a really monopolized software scene. You got multiple options available when it comes to dropshipping related software. So make sure that you educate yourself about all of these available options. Check that video out, and it's got like 30 different software names. All I want you to do is just have the video open in one tab, pause the video at each name, and then go to YouTube and search for that, and watch someone else's video about that software. You don't even have to watch the whole thing, but just do that for all 30 of those, and then boom, you're educated. You know what's available, and you can make a more informed decision about what you should use based on what you're trying to do, okay? And now tip number 3, and this is for those of you who are based internationally. You are based in a country other than the United States. If you're in the United States, you have access to like Amazon and Walmart and a multitude of other sources and suppliers, right? Whereas if you're overseas, access to these is more complicated, okay? The reality is that if you are an international, you're not based in the US, it will be easier for you to use Chinese sources like AliExpress to dropship. This is because there's a lot of problems that internationals face when they try and dropship you using US sources. Because US sources are much more picky about payment, okay? Whereas Chinese sources are just happy to take your money and they'll ship also wherever you want. So you can offer worldwide shipping. It's a different game, okay? As an international, you have more opportunity sourcing from a place like AliExpress than you do sourcing from a place like Walmart. Okay? That being said, there are risks associated with that, but if you're international, I encourage you to learn more about dropshipping using Chinese sources such as AliExpress. Okay? Now, number 4 is to participate in some kind of regularly meeting up online group. This can just be once a week, it could be once a month. You need other people who are interested in the subject matter that you're learning about, who are also trying to learn about it so that you can hold each other accountable. This is going to be really important because ultimately you alone only have so much motivation to work on this. But as soon as you have a friend who you meet with regularly, who also is working on this, who you can share problems with, gain insight from, motivate each other, work together with, the game changes a lot. And if you're properly able to socialize this part of it, then you can kind of guarantee that you stay in the scene. Whereas if you were just doing it alone, maybe it's too easy to keep putting that work off, you know? adding that social layer to it, specifically having a group of people that you call and meet with on a regular basis. Facebook groups alone aren't the same. You can learn a lot from Facebook groups, but Facebook in its nature is kind of working against you when it comes to productivity. So you have to be careful. Whereas when it comes to meeting with people, like having these Skype groups and these kind of things, this has a very, very, very high quality effect on you based on the time spent. We're talking about an hour or two once a week, or even once a month, just to share what's been going on with other people who are like-minded. If you can get yourself into one of these scenarios, it's much more likely that you're going to find some level of success. And I strongly encourage you to look past Facebook groups alone, because Facebook groups only allow you to get answers quickly. They don't allow you to really, really, really get to know the people and get that solid relationship going that happens when you do face-to-face video. Face-to-face video just allows you to get closer to people so much faster and feel a connection with them. This is going to be hugely, hugely, hugely beneficial, okay? And now for the fifth and final tip, and that is to develop a relationship with a virtual assistant as soon as you possibly can. Dropshipping is incredibly competitive and will only continue to get more competitive. It is an opportunity available to anybody on the planet with an internet connection. You want every edge that you can possibly get. And by educating yourself about software and combining that with usage of virtual assistants, you will be able to maintain that competitive edge. However, if you do not have virtual assistants, that is a huge, huge, huge mitigator in the chance of things working out for you. Having a strong, reliable relationship with a virtual assistant is one of the most important parts of a solid dropshipping business. And it extends past dropshipping. If you have a good relationship with a virtual assistant, everything that you do with the computer can be exponentially more profitable. Ultimately, virtual assistants is one of the most effective and useful things that you can spend your time and money on. It is incredibly beneficial. It's like a muscle that you don't even know you have, but then with time, whoa, your mind gets opened up by using it. I'm telling you, once you send a couple WhatsApp messages out and shit gets done, whew, mind-blowing stuff, guys. All right, thanks for watching, and as always, see you next time. Ciao.